So, new very exciting PlayStation 5 controller update, great SpiderMan 3 PlayStation 5 update, and new Horizon multiplayer update. Those are the stories we're going to cover today, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. First, yes or no, have you finished Horizon Forbidden West or not? We're going to be talking about what's next for the franchise, but before then, have you finished the last game in the series? So comment below yes or no if you finished Horizon Forbidden West or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now diving into the first story of the video, Horizon multiplayer update. So we've seen leaks of this game last year showcasing what looks to be a game with a very different art style to the mainline series. It was more colorful and animated looking compared to the mainline Horizon game series. We also had reports last year that this game is set to release in 2025 with a job listing for a release QA intern, and that they needed this person to be available for the first half of 2025. So this could indicate that this game is releasing, at least in beta form, sometime later this year. From what we know, this seems to be a Monster Hunter-like game, but in the Horizon universe, and most recently, it seems like Guerrilla Games might be gearing up for this to be a huge title. Reading from GameRant, while it's still unclear when Guerrilla plans to announce its multiplayer Horizon project, a new finding may indicate that the studio has lofty ambitions for the game's player numbers. As per a recent job listing for a senior platform engineer, Guerrilla might be expecting over 1 million players for the Horizon multiplayer game. This was hinted at in the role's requirements, where one of them mentions proven experience building and operating multi-service 1 million plus user globally distributed systems across multiple public cloud providers. So it seems Guerrilla could also be building a robust live service infrastructure for the Horizon multiplayer project that can support more than 1 million players. So this could show confidence that Guerrilla Games is expecting a large number of players to play this game, or as GameRant noted later in their article, this could just be them gearing up for any situation. Look at what happened to Helldivers 2, for example, and how the player base just skyrocketed for that game, but also led to wide-scale issues with connectivity. I like this approach from Guerrilla Games. If this is what they're doing, just preparing just in case, why not be prepared in case the game does do well and skyrocket, so players are not stuck waiting to play, but rather are just playing your game. And I'm assuming there's going to be some monetization in the game as well, so you're making money as well. Let's see when Guerrilla Games announces this project, which I assume is early this year, if it's going to release later in the year. And if you're enjoying the video so far, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community on our way to 150,000 subscribers. Now diving into the second story of the video, great SpiderMan 3 update. So SpiderMan 3, as we know, is pretty much confirmed, as the studio has teased it to be somewhat the end game of the series, making comparisons to the MCU. Right now, Insomniac is heavily focused on finishing off Wolverine, which is next up on the plate, but a recent job listing indicates that Insomniac is already most likely in production for SpiderMan 3. The job listing is for a senior UX researcher, and it states this: Insomniac is looking for a contract senior user experience researcher. In this role, the senior UX researcher is responsible for leading the research process for a AAA title. This role involves established industry methodologies to enhance the usability and player experience of game content. The researcher collaborates with the team to develop comprehensive reports that summarize both qualitative and quantitative feedback for the development team, informing creative decisions. This position is hybrid, with the requirement to work at the Insomniac Games Burbank UX Lab over a 3-month period to help kick off research on a project in early production. So it doesn't take much to connect that this is probably SpiderMan 3. Wolverine has been in development for, at this point, probably 4 years, so that's not what they're referring to here. SpiderMan 3 is reported to launch sometime in 2027, 2028, so you would assume production on the game should have started by now. So this makes the most sense for what's being referenced here. There's also the Venom game that we've heard about from the leaks, which is supposed to launch sometime this year, so I wouldn't assume that's referring to this if that's still happening, if the Venom project is still ongoing. Let's see what we get this year from Insomniac, because they should be saying something about Wolverine sometime soon, according to rumors. But you guys let me know if you're excited for Spider-Man 3 or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And now diving into the final story of the video, very exciting PlayStation 5 controller update. Reading from Tech4Gamers, we have discovered a newly published Sony patent that wants to tackle latency issues in multiplayer games by employing smart AI models. These models can predict player inputs before they are completed. Sony discusses employing a camera to receive inputs by viewing the controller to record player actions. These incomplete inputs can then be predicted to be executed in advance for the player. One processor may receive input from the camera, determine the user command based on the input from the camera, and control the computer game according to the user command in advance of the user completing the user command. Sony may have just found a way to reduce lag in online games by using AI to predict player inputs ahead of time. This patent could fix multiplayer games lag issues by a wide margin. The patent timed input/action release also discusses using incomplete controller actions as input instead of the camera, letting AI do all of the work of guessing what the player is trying to do ahead of time. So this is probably the most exciting, or one of the most exciting features Sony potentially has in the works for me. I try to reduce latency when I'm playing my games by hardwiring my connection, connecting my controller to the console, of course having game mode on, etc. FPS and ways to reduce latency improve the gameplay experience a good deal. Now, this doesn't need to be a feature specifically for multiplayer games. This could be something applied to single player games as well to reduce latency there and improve smoothness of gameplay. This could also be used for cloud streaming as well, because if people remember, Google Stadia was trying to do this exact thing years ago and people laughed at them at the time. Of course, AI has evolved more so now than it was back then, so this could be a real possibility. I would assume on PlayStation 5 for this to work, you'd need some online connectivity to AI servers to predict your next move, but I wonder on PlayStation 6 if something like this can run on the system, since AI will be a big piece of these next generation consoles. I'll be following this because this is very exciting to me. But you guys let me know if you're excited about this potential feature or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is the body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with "Bring on the show." So Nintendo is about to potentially have their Switch reveal tomorrow. Xbox is set to have a Xbox Direct later this month. Sony, I think you guys also need to have a state of play coming soon, hopefully later this month or maybe early February, discussing Ghost of Yotei, hopefully giving us an actual legitimate update for Wolverine since 2021. Death Stranding 2 maybe gets a release date finally, since it's going to release this year, as well as Ghost of Yotei, obviously. Just there's updates that we need, and hopefully we get that sometime soon. If you want Sony to have a state of play sometime soon, destroy the comment section with "Bring on the show," and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do, because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.